Nesk would look just Nesk though.
Only Nesk. That's who he respects. Nesk. I mean, this game for me. I mean, this game has always been for me. It's the old veterans versus the new rookies. That's what it feels like. You know, it's the old. It's like a detective movie. The old cop has got a new young partner. That's what it's like.
Is this the kind of movie where like the old cop gets caught out and the young new cop has to come and save him?
Yeah, this is Ice Cube and Kevin Hart have decided to do a movie. That's what this is like.
Well, we'll see how this movie finishes. Funky bands? Question mark.
Funky bands.
A little bit off the beaten track. Thatcher, Ying, Cade, and a Smoke.
Smoke's a fun one.
It is.
Smoke, right now, for me, just thinks elbow control of blue is going to be very difficult to stop a shield. That's what I look at it, yeah? If you look at elbow, which is one of the most coveted positions in Oregon to play for a basement defense, the only issue that you would have is it is literally a death corridor, and if you have a blitz run at you full speed, you're probably going to die. That's why we see teams bring a Smoke. We've seen a Smoke be banned out, and a Monty already got locked in. It has been now 6 picked off, though, but the same general idea. Smoke in that position is very, very strong. It can give you a lot of denial. If you know teams are going to try and push you, maybe utilize nades. If you lose a shield, you know, we see the shield get destroyed, Ollie, and then teams would actually walk into elbow and then reinforce it up again. You know, that would happen as well. So I think having the Smoke just gives you that extra bit of just safety. But with that Smoke ban, it looks as now they're going to try and force a mirror out. And they won't be holding elbow. They're going to use a mirror window, I believe, to try and hold that.
Smoke ban's a bit of a Team 1 speciality on Oregon. Last time we saw Team 1 play on Oregon, Alamau just dismantled with a blitz. Team 1 started off on the defense. We only saw him attack a couple of times on the attack. And it was scary how quick Alamau was moving on that blitz. Played a very similar setup as well, the mirror window being really crucial and where everything sort of hinges from. Strange not to see Liquid bring in a Twitch in anticipation of that, because this is a pretty much carbon copy setup as to what we saw Team 1 running a couple of weeks ago against Santos. They're going to have their own idea of how they want to try and approach this. Mirror windows played in on site really do start to cause quite a few problems. You start thinking about pushing through freezer, bang, you've got a mirror window to deal with. You start thinking about taking control of laundry, bang, you've got a mirror window to deal with. Sure, you can look to push in from the sort of rear stage side, and with the Smoke ban, that's likely going to yield the best results, but you've still got to deal with players in on pillar, banshees, whether it be, you know, YMI discs, whatever it is that's going to be in that vicinity.
Team 1, they have Alamau on the Titan Killer, the LS Shotgun, which we know he can do so much damage, Ollie. I think we look back to the last Copa Elite finals. This man was, I believe, acing with this weapon, so you have to respect Alamau with that gun because he can tear you a new one. So Team 1 have to be backed away now as hatches start to get opened up. Liquid are kind of trying to control nearly everything. They're not really forcing themselves down one avenue. They're giving themselves a lot of different options that they can go for. Putting a bit of pressure here and there. Some pressure on Freezer now. Some pressure towards the back stairs. It looks as if they will be rotating now towards blue to try and eliminate anyone inside of elbow. So Liquid just trying to make it seem as if they don't really know where they're going, which in turn would make Team 1 believe that, hey, we need to kind of watch everything.
Always difficult when the push is unclear. Team 1 not knowing where to heavily invest, which angles to watch. Palu's announcing at the moment in bunker that some sort of push is going to come through blue. See the utility burn fly on in. Nades now being cooked. Ask lit. Only 1 health. KDS to find the opener. Nesk, first player to fall. Palu in position. Trade off, as is PSK. Still going to be a player behind the deployable shield. Palu gets a chance, but misses the shot. The rotation wide open. All it takes is Alamau playing close with the shotgun to sit Palu down. Palu didn't have intel. Didn't know that there was going to be another player in that position. PSK and resets, looking to make a push on in. Diffuser well in their control, and time still on their side in this 2 versus 3. They need to find an opening. They need to grab a kill here. 3-5 shots go down as Neskin gets lit. Locations of players are known, and it's looking frustrating here for Liquid. They're just not going to be able to get a hold or get a handle on these Team 1 players, as they are more than happy to play Ring Around the Rosie and retreat. Lagonis takes down PSK and picks the final one up for good measure, but if he hadn't, the time would have done the rest.
Just sent him on a run, didn't they, Ollie? Didn't know where to go. Again, Alamau in that position, Ollie, with a shotgun. You're just not going to break through him. You're just not. That is an impossible task, and Liquid just took a bit too long and didn't really know where they wanted to put all of their eggs into the one basket, or maybe try and spread it out for a bit of an Easter egg hunt. But in the end, it's going to fall for them. And now Liquid, what are they going to do now? They know they have to go for a kids attack next. And that means they're going to switch in Thermite, I believe. So we do see a bit of a different switch up. In terms of Team 1, Alamau still in the shotgun, still in the Ela.
No major surprise. We see Alamau run Ela shotgun almost exclusively, and even when the pistol is required for those longer range kills, it's not something that he shies away from. There's one thing that you can't doubt, is the confidence of that player. Really is on the level in terms of believing in his own ability and being able to pull it off as well. Of course, it's going to assist in the site setup a little bit, as he's going to be able to assist Lagonis in all of the rotations that need making. We're expecting Team 1 to come away with a good amount of rounds here, though, on the defense.
Yeah.
As we've already mentioned, Liquid's attacks have maybe been an area that they've been lacking in a little bit more than others. And it again leads us to question why we've ended up on a map like Oregon, where that can be so pressured.
Yeah, Oregon can be a bit of a tricky one. Usually it's seen as a bit of a 50-50 map, where it is fairly even for both sides, no matter who plays it. It is one of the most easiest maps to play in any league, in any tier of competition. It is going to be one of the easiest to play. Everyone knows what they need to do on this certain map. Very, very easy. So in terms of attack and defender, doesn't really favor either side. I think there's good elements for both sides. But then I do feel as if I've seen a lot of Oregons where the defenders have ramped up a lot of rounds, so you could be standing here with a 5-1 split to defense, but then it's not in the realm of fantasy where you could then see a 5-1 pullback from the other side as soon as the half-side switch. So you could definitely be sat here with a 6-6 at the end of these 12 rounds.
Fairly slow approach here by Liquid. Only bringing one Thermite as well. Not opting to double down and bring the Maverick or anything else. What a nade from Palu. The back of some good information there. Manages to sit KDS down. Nice free entry. KDS paying the price for, well, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now we see the breach allowed to be open. The removing KDS there has freed up that as a possibility. Thermite charges can be deployed. The only problem with bringing Thermite is you've not got the chance to really open up both sides. You can't get rotated round and open up Attic as well. It's a long way to go, and with Ask having the diffuser, it's unlikely that's where he's going to end up. There are still players from Team 1 that are going to be roaming this bottom floor, so for all that the opening kill and the wall has been opened here by Team Liquid, they've still got so much to do, Demo.
Yeah, I think Maverick could have been a big pick for Liquid. You could send your Maverick over to Big Tower, open up Attic, like I said earlier, then it gives them two kind of options, two different fronts to fight on. But sadly, I think they've kind of choked themselves into really one direction. Alamau is swung with a shotgun. However, the rest of his team has been picked off, so a 2 versus 4 in Liquid is actually in the driving seat. Strange from PSK to let that one happen. They knew somebody was inside of Attic, and that is give Lagonis a bit of a freebie. After they have jumped in towards double window, are Team 1 aware of this? Alamau playing inside of the closet. Lagonis finds 1 and 2! Gun skill from Lagonis is unrivaled, and a trade to finish it off. Liquid, that is a stinger to lose.
That's why you take Alamau with the FO12. Lagonis, in that situation, playing on the mute, didn't have the shotgun because he didn't need it. He was allowed to take the SMG and therefore can start taking those gunfights. I'm not saying that Lagonis isn't capable of pulling that off with the SMG-11, but it's a damn sight more difficult if he's going to try, especially chaining them together like he was without needing to hit the reload in between. Liquid, what are you doing to us? That was painful to watch. Everything was going in your favor. You get the opening pick, you get the wall open, and then everything just starts to fall apart. Lagonis single-handedly from Attic has been able to clutch out that round. Paolo and Nesk almost stacking up on one another. Tough to watch.
It is very, very tough to watch for Liquid. I mean, that's a rough round where you're sitting pretty good. The fact that they've been able to make it work with only just opening up Bedroom, I think, was always a bit of a risk. It left Attic open, but I have to look at PSK. If you know that you don't have Attic control, why are you repelling on Kid's window? Like, why?
Yeah.
Surely that's basic stuff. You don't have Attic control, you don't repel that window.
You'd have been better off just going straight in.
I mean, even
if you want to get into kids, just repel straight into it, because he's even safer if he just does that.
See, if I looked at that round from Liquid did really well of gaining double window control. They were in. They had white stairs control also. If you have one guy already bonked by double window, one guy in top white, why do you not then rotate your diffuser carry to double window, jump and plant? Because at that stage, Team 1 can't really do anything. That's a difficult retake, a very, very difficult retake to do. I think just Liquid, the diffuser wasn't in the right position for them.
And Attic control. Had they taken Attic control, would Lagonis been allowed to stand there? Absolutely not. And think about Liquid when they attack into that site next time, but here and now they're going to be approaching meeting. Take that upstairs control. Move on through. There's going to be a mirror window played upstairs as well, so really focus, a little bit of something to deal with. Palu's up there initially on the sledge. He's going to be trying to get a large part of that floor open, no doubt, and start to route some of the players in and around the site, but there's a presence upstairs that needs dealing with. So far, Liquid, well, at least Nesk, isn't looking to assist all too much in that. Burns the barb, so he can make his way up the stairs unimpinged. Does have a little bit of information here. He's got some Zed pings to work from, Demo.
Does indeed. It's just, will Nesk take the fight? Will he take the plunge into the deep end? Looks as if he's looking for resets to get himself in a better position now. Looks as if the first engagement will be coming out. Resets with the LMG. Nesk, though, does have a trade-off onto resets. And that leaves us inside of a 4 versus 4. See, the man inside of Kids is also tiptoed away and dropped the hatch. And that does give upstairs control to Liquid. That's a good start for them, Ollie. Now, how will they play off it? They have the sledge. Ollie will come in, start opening up the angles. Ask, I believe, from the hatch finds the levy. So Liquid, their plans worked. The formula that they've set out, it's starting to become a realistic avenue for them now to win this round.
45 seconds to try and execute with that. 2 players off-site for Team 1 here. We've got Neskin, Freezer Stairs, Alamau, Laundry Stairs, and Lagonis. Well, he's been removed from sight on the Maestro. Nesk swings on in and manages to take him out. Alamau with the rotation, gets himself into Kitchen, and is now the last line of defense. Ask, he's starting to get that diffuser down and put the pressure back onto Alamau, but Nesk is in position to shut him down. A couple of really impactful kills there from Nesk on the round. And in his feet pretty early on inside of this game.
That's Liquid in a nutshell. That is where Liquid, I feel, really come into their own. Those great rounds where they have this game plan, and whenever it's executed to, you know, the perfect degree, nobody's beaten them. But we don't see that consistency, I feel, from Liquid throughout this split so far. We know how good this team can be. Yeah, they're one of the best teams in the world. We know their capabilities. We know the skill ceiling now, especially now, Ollie, with these 2 new players they've brought in. Their skill ceiling has went up massively. Things can only get better for Liquid, which is, I think, one thing that maybe we've been too skeptical of, is the fact that maybe we've been, you know, well, I say we, mostly myself, haven't been too impressed with Liquid throughout this split. But in hindsight, it is 2 new players. We know it's going to take time to adapt, and we have to give them a certain amount of time to say, okay, has this worked? Has it not?
And that's it. It's all about that, you know, team for the future mentality. And I think that's what Liquid are trying to set up at the moment. You know, we've spoken to Silence about it. We've spoken to Paolo about it. And that's the general message. But it's difficult to shake the sort of prowess that Liquid have as a team to then say, you know, they're now starting to build a team for the future by bringing up these 2 new players. It's a hard message to sort of convey when you've already got that kind of baseline expectation just because it's Liquid. And I think that's something that is going to take a little bit of time to get around.
So we head back down to the basement, and this was a bit of a rough one for Liquid. They did a good job at clearing out the top floor and being able to move in and open up as many hatches as they could, but it was a bit of a head scratcher and a bit of a confusing round in terms of what they actually wanted to push. They had issues with Alamo, with the yellow shotgun, line weight inside of elbow. I'm curious to see what Liquid will do to really adapt. Will they put more pressure perhaps onto the Ela, which I think is a good idea. You're bringing 6 nades to the table. Why not utilize that? There's only, you know, a handful of gadgets that can be placed inside of Elbow. You're not going to see that, you know, 3 ADSs and all the oNe discs being stacked up just for Alamo. They will be scattered around in different positions, but then again, you also have 6 flashbangs to burn up. They have, what's that, 12 projectiles? Yeah, that's a lot. ADSs and oNes cannot stop all of that.
No. And this is where you can bring into question the amount of hard breach that Liquid are bringing. They're still only bringing 1 hard breacher. Ask is on the Hibana. You can get a lot of work done with that, don't get me wrong. But if you'd have brought the Maverick as well, you would be able to affect onto 2 areas at the same time. Even something like a Twitch at this point, looking at the positions that drones are getting into, you can start burning ADSs. You can start looking to move through that way and just gain a little bit of an advantage. I think Liquid's operator lineup is one that very seldom changes. And you've got to wonder at what point is that going to really start holding them back from getting things done. Again, we're at the minute mark in the round. They've achieved a bit, but they haven't maybe achieved as much as they would have liked here. Now the ADS is going to start to get burnt through. The nade can come on out from Palu. The Finker Stim goes in, but it's going to be Team 1 to find the first 2. Levy and Alamau both capitalising on that initial push before a fight back starts to come in, but it isn't going to be enough. Nesk is left on rear stage stairs with 2 kills to find. 1 versus 2 as the trades flew down. Not a lot went in Liquid's favour. The diffuser cold on the ground. Information was still available for them. They had 5 drones left before that last push in. Now Nesk is left wondering. Needs to try and find out these last couple of plays. He's got Lagonis to deal with. He's also got Alamau to deal with. He's got a nade to do so with. It might cause a little bit of distraction. Even some chip damage onto Lagonis. Lagonis gets chipped up, but Alamau is there with the trade. No shotgun required. Interestingly, it's going to be the pistol that finishes things off.
Tell you, he's dangerous, that pistol also. He loves that weapon. And yep, Team 1, again, another successful basement. Liquid, just the pieces aren't working for them. And again, it just feels as if not taking elbow control is really costing them. I think Liquid just need to commit to 1 take. Because really for Oregon, we either see Freezer Laundry, that's all you push is Freezer Laundry, or you push elbow and then into pillar. That is the 2 takes that we see in Oregon more times than enough. You can't do it all. There is no way that you can cover every single angle, every area. Because not only do you probably not have the utility to clear out everything on the bomb sites, but you also leave yourself spread very, very thin. And then you're kind of suffering then from lack of refrags, which I think Liquid have kind of struggled with that a little bit this game so far, Ollie. We're kind of seeing the numbers advantage kind of rack up for Team 1 quite heavily. There are some missteps that Liquid are doing, and I think Team 1, they're happy enough just to sit back and let them kind of run at them.
Team 1 know what they need to do here, and they just don't need to panic. They don't need to get dragged into these engagements. It's the second time that we've seen Laundry defended there, and it's the second time that Liquid have been searching for those kills in the dying few stages because they can't get the plant down or the diffuser's miles away. And Team 1 are happy to just sit back, create that crossfire, and just literally hide. It's like almost like a game of hide and seek. And Liquid just aren't leaving themselves enough time to do anything with that. And I just don't feel like they're giving themselves enough options. You mentioned there that they should just stick to 1 take. I agree, but they also need to be doing more at the same time. It's like commit to 1 take and commit to taking bunker really well and to taking elbow well, because that still hasn't really been done successfully. And also commit to sufficient pressure from elsewhere. We're coming back upstairs now. And back again, we're on to the solo hard breach. We're on to that thermite. We saw what Lagonis did from Attic last time. Make him feel uncomfortable in there. Don't give it him for free.
So Nomad's been certainly an operator that PSK has definitely adapted onto this game so far. And it makes sense. Team 1, they will happy enough to go for these late flanks. They will go for a roam game. So Nomad's going to be a big part in denying that. But their main issue is really, I just feel the positionings of Team 1 is that they're not finding them out quick enough. It looks as if almost they're running into gunfights a bit blind at times. You look at the last time they defended Kids, there was the Wamai just inside of Kid's bedroom, and 2 of them, one guy pushed in from double window and another guy in white. Both of them pushed in and they didn't really know what to expect. Running on fumes, you could say.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how passive Liquid can afford to be in this. We see Nesk holding a super long angle there for a chance at a couple of pot shots, not even a guaranteed kill. And you think, well, active information gathering, the Iana, the clones that you provide, the nades that you bring, could that be spent better? Could you be in a better position at this moment in time with that? Certainly, Alamau could be in a better position. Palu gets gifted with some beautiful time in there. Alamau very unnecessary going for the Grismot throw onto the breach to give him a bit of info. It's going to work and Palu will be stunned up by it, but there's no one there to capitalise. We do see a bit of a swing here come through from Neskin and a double peek as Levy has his back. Resets in with the trade, still an advantage here for Liquid, and this is where they really start to need to pounce. Attic has still not been taken control of, so it's a big point of vulnerability here. And with Neskin, he has an option to move up either white or armory stairs. Hills continue to fly as Levy picks up onto resets. Make it 2 as he hits 3 on the round. PSK next to fall. Now level in a 2 versus 2. Nesk, and he shut Neskin down. Yes, he can. Now it is only Levy to find. Still got information. Still got 20 seconds here. Diffuser in the hands of Ask. Will he start to get it down, or are they just going to try and guarantee this kill? Live Zeb pings coming out. Impact's available for Levy, but we're not really going to do too much apart from open up the rotation. The plant now will be successful. Can anybody make their way outside? Levy, you got to land a shot, but no. Neskin is going to be there to finish things off. Nesk, excuse me, as he will pick up that final kill. Had the impact in the later part of the round.
Big Nesk, you could say.
It's confusing. Nesk and Neskin. It's a nightmare.
Big Nesk, little Nesk. That's the way I look at it. But, I mean, Big Nesk in that scenario, just... Well, what can you say? Made a great jump in, wins that engagement on white, and from there, very, very difficult. Yes, we've seen the active information. They had an Echo drone still up. I think Valkyrie camera as well, whatever it was. They were ready. They had the information, but even still, Nesk still in a league of his own with all that information. As long as he gets a glimpse of your body, you're dead, no matter what. So, yeah, Liquid taking a big man to kind of bail him out of jail there, and of course, who else than Nesk to do it for them. So, that's a good round back from Liquid, but I still feel they need to get another one. Take an even split. Liquid then are in good standing. In a close game. Hasn't really been anyone who's ran away in terms of kills at this stage, Ollie. Seems to be pretty even across both sides. But now we do move to a third bomb site. We go to Kitchen Dining now. Last time for Liquid, they just took upstairs very, very easily. And it was a well-executed take. I'm expecting nothing less than Liquid, except a well-executed take for this bomb site.
You almost get the impression that Team 1 didn't throw, but they made a lot of mistakes in that previous round. It's kind of been a bit of a mistakey game in that the team that and the side that make the mistake first kind of tend to lose the round. And Team 1 just got caught a little bit impatient there inside of that one. We didn't see them sit back as deeply as they have done previously. Now, they've opted for the alternate site here. We saw them go to meeting last time. This time we're seeing them go to kitchen and dining. A slightly different approach is going to be in order here. But the sentiment remains the same. You can take that upstairs control, though it is a little bit less important here for this site. You're more going to be focused in on the showers area. You can see an area that Team 1 has heavily fortified KDS is going to be playing in there. He's got mute jammers, got a laser gate, a couple of reinforced walls to help him as well. Lagonis rocking the Echo this time. There's going to be a little bit more active information out there on the roam.
Roam game, always something that you have to be ready for on Oregon. Can definitely happen. We see runouts happen quite a lot also. But Liquid, I think they've brought PSK on the Nomad for that very reason, like we kind of touched upon last time. That wall is open from the upstairs, and it will be sledged away. Let's give them that breach being opened. Kind of gives them those lines of sight, and it puts Team 1 in a bit of an awkward scenario. This shower corridor, though, Wally, I've said this many times, this is the scary area for the attackers. This is no man's land. This is for anyone who wants to grab it. We've seen defenders, Ollie, literally walk down to the end of the corridor and kill 3 people on the breach. It happens. It does. It happens to the best of teams. Hopefully Liquid won't let that get away from them, and they will have that covered, because if Team 1 take a little trip and they find 1 kill or 2 kills, could be detrimental to the attack from Liquid. A bit of utility being tossed out. They're in the showers. It looked as if he got body blocked, Alamau, by KDS, but he did make up for it, though. Palu is inside the showers. Ness finds 1, and this is where Palu and Ness, they are in their element. This is their round to win. At 2 versus 4, Lagonis and KDS, what can they do? Not a lot. They've had to fall back now to the safety of 90 corridor in towards jungle and also in towards server. Palu finds another and the 4th to go with it. Liquid on top. Free.
Big round there from Palu and Nesk. They were able to have a massive impact inside of the showers. Alamau getting unfortunate timing on his C4 as well. You could see him looking over at his teammate's screen just to get an idea as to when the right time to strike was. I imagine there was a yokai drone in there or something, as there was plenty of live ping information for Team 1 right at the end of that round, but it just wasn't able to be acted upon due to how dominating Liquid were and how much map control they've been able to gain. 3-3 split. We kind of anticipated this one, Demo. I reckon we could be in for a bit of a long one. But overtime written all over it. I feel like Liquid have maybe gotten off lightly there, being able to drag that one back, because honestly at a time it looked as though they were nowhere near on those attacking rounds, but they've made the offsite work twice and they've been able to clutch one upstairs as well. So a really good showing, and Liquid have done something there to salvage what was looking like it could have been quite a rough first half for them.
Okay. Half split. Liquid on the defense. I'd be disappointed, Ollie, if this wasn't just an all-out war, an all-out brawl between both of these teams. They gave us a very entertaining best-of-3 series, of course, at Mexico. And certainly it should live up to expectations. Also, fun fact, Liquid have went with the same bands that they also went for at Mexico and Oregon. At Mexico, they also had a Ying and Kaid ban. We're seeing the exact same here today. So will history repeat itself, Ollie?
Possibly could. Let's see how aggressive Team 1 want to get with this. Obviously, the smoke ban really throws into question just how much time the attackers can save. You know, there's 3 Toxic Babe canisters, 15 seconds-ish per canister. Potential for 45 seconds of area denial and sort of stopping a push coming through. So it does mean that the attackers have a little bit more time to work with. And as a result, can set up a little bit better typically for certain things. So there is a big opportunity here for Team 1 to wait and get all their ducks in a row. I mean, we saw what happened when Liquid tried to do that. And it wasn't something that worked out all too well all the time. Mirror windows being played in a very similar fashion as well. That's going to allow Liquid something to peek from here. Lion scan and the Finker boost actually only means one thing, and that's going to be a hatch drop. They're going to push on through. Alamau picks one before being traded. PSK, he is in the right place at the right time, but Levy, he's flooded in from Laundry side and has found 2 for himself as well. Advantage Team 1 here as Levy's gone nuclear, finds himself 3, and Neskin picks the last. Moves in through the bunker and gets great time in there onto PSK. I tell you, a Lion Scan and a Finker Boost demo, it only ever means one thing with Team 1.
It does indeed. I mean, Levy just running around the bomb site, tapping heads whenever he could, and, well, Team 1 will take that first attack. A bit sloppy from Liquid to let that one slip. It was the one guy. That was it, one guy that they just could not lock down and kill. See, I am interested to see how Liquid are going to recover now and what they're going to do differently. I would say Team 1 are probably going to go with the same formula. Looking at their lineup, again, they're all about kills, Ollie. You're seeing the Finka and the Iana be brought. You've got a lot of nades on their lineup. Oh, dear.
Right. Now is the time to panic. This is like Code Red, Sector 7. You know, we need some backup. We need backup. We need assistance.
Yep.
Send help. You know, you're tapping out SOS as fast as you can.
Just hear the,
did you get to watch the Santos game? Team 1 Santos.
Which one was that?
Played on Oregon, 7-1 to Team 1, and Alamau went off on the blitz. It was genuinely terrifying. It was the closest thing that I've ever seen recently to, if you think back to like old Oregon and Pengu. Remember that little stint that he had inside of Prem at the time?
Yep.
UK National League. It was the closest thing I've seen to that. Imagine a professional player, a tier 1 player, Pengu, arguably in his prime, coming into a National League as a substitute and playing Blitz on Old Oregon. It was terrifying, and that's exactly how Alamau plays it.
Well, here we go anyway, because he's straight in. It looks to be a freezer stairs rush from Team 1. Alamau, what's he gonna do? What has he got in store for? It's a little pressure, because if this doesn't work, Ollie, then it will be a massive failure for Team 1. The Blitz, though, has been spotted out. He appears to have brought the Blitz, Ollie, to destroy the default cams. Genius!
It's a big brain play.
We will lock down Laundry, though, and... Oh, sees a mirror. Hasn't worked the same way as what we thought it would. He's been kind of locked off by the mirror windows.
Honestly, give it time. I believe in this. I believe it to be terrifying. There's something about the Finker boost and the hip fire that Blitz gets that just makes it disgusting.
Let's see where he wants to go. Don't really know what he wants to do. Now he rotates that towards Blue, and it looks as Team 1. They've kind of seen the mirror windows and they thought, nope, we're not dealing with that. And they're going to go for the pillar and blue take, it appears to be. The nades get tossed in. They do have a hefty amount of them. No kills yet for Team 1. You need to try and take control of pillar. Get somebody in those back stairs and try and create a bit of chaos. You see Alamau just taking his time thinking about what they want to do, because this is... It is very, very shaky for Team 1, because they need to make this Blitz count. They need to make sure this pick can be forced and it does work. And obviously, the best option you can do with a Blitz is going to be down in towards that elbow. And like we mentioned at the beginning of the game, with Smoke being banned out, it makes Blitz so much more favorable as a pick.
It's a time thing as well. The further the time goes, the more effective it is likely going to be. Say again, though, as PSK takes down 2. Not only does he pick up Blitz, but he also picks up Lagonis as well. Levy, last remaining survivor. Palu is in there to clean up the pieces. Had a nice line of sight there made for him as well that he could try and work with, but it was a hatch drop that eventually undid Levy. A slow round there from Team 1. Liquid really holding their nerve until the bitter end. It was a great push in by PSK. I feel like him pushing in, picking up Lagonis and picking up Alamau, crucial stuff. Because if Alamau's allowed to go in through elbow and into the site, into a close quarters environment, that's where things really start to get dangerous when it's a blitz.
Yeah, just... Team 1, I think, missing the man on the tower stairs. Because if you have something in the tower stairs, PSK cannot do what he just did. The fact that we see PSK just swing from Shaiko and kill 2 of them should not happen for Team 1 in that scenario. You don't have to worry about somebody swinging elbow. You already have your Blitz deep in that position. You need to cover that Shaiko door, else you're done. You're just done. And they needed somebody on that tower stairs. That is what they were missing. They knew they cleared that pillar. They threw about 5 nades at pillar. You know nobody's going to be standing there. The only possible way that he can be still alive and be playing is either he's rotated in towards Shaiko door, which he did, or he was playing a Harry Potter, both of which can be dealt from somebody going down tower stairs.
Well, we level up again here in this match. We were expecting it to be a war, and so far it has delivered. Neither team's led by more than 2, and even that was right at the start. Since then, it's been back and forth, 1 for 1. Alamal swapped one shield for another. This time, he'll be rocking the Monty as opposed to the Blitz. See if they can make it work this time. It does become a point where you question if it's a pick that's really being forced and if it's actually necessary. With the way that Liquid have set up, it looks as though they're anticipating all sorts of shield play. They've actually not fully reinforced the wall there in from Closet into games. That's pretty crucial. It does allow Alamal to push on in quite easily, and there's a utility for him to burn on the way. It will give Liquid something to peek from.
Monty is trying to gain an information, and you can see that helps the Attic guys out a lot more, because Attic's clear. All they need is for Levy to open up a hole for himself, and that's it, bang. They have their Attic. However, you can see 2 players starting to encroach in that position, Ollie. Looking to climb up towards those towers there. We're trying to flank the Maverick whenever he is using that blowtorch, but still. Looks as if the Team 1 are ready for it anyway. You can see the flight drone being placed also, and Ask, how's he going to play this? Oh, not as well as what he would have wanted to. Does get drone danced, and they know somebody is on the tail of Levy. But Ask then has to run away, and Levy can happy enough sit here and wait for him while the rest of the team starts preparing that breach and open up that main wall. I think the fact that they have the Monty applies just a little bit more pressure on Liquid, knowing that somebody can literally walk in and spot out any positions that you could rotate into is massive. And also, in a sense, it makes it very, very difficult for Team Liquid to really stop the plant going down behind the Monty because they don't have the smoke.
Such a great call there. We did see Ask getting taken out by the rotation. 2 kills have come in. Palu, how does he manage that? He's actually rotated out and through back into Master Bedroom. He may have just saved the round here. Liquid not working off too much info. 35 seconds left to go here. No real denial left in terms of C4s or anything of that nature. Palu going to be downed. Resets. Going to have to try and come in pretty big here. Doesn't have a great deal of health to speak of either. Neskin has the info, knows where players are, but can't do anything about it. Goes for a desperate attempt to push on in. Liquid, they were holding in too deep.
Wow. Liquid. Massive round from them to pull it back, and now they take the lead 5 rounds to 4. So they tried to force the Blitz, didn't work. They then tried to force the Monty, didn't work either, Ollie. I get why they're playing the shields, because smoke is gone. Smoke is one of the biggest counters to shield operators because they are very slow, and if shield operators take a lot of damage, then they're not as viable, and then they can kind of get tripped up, and all it takes is 1 bullet, and that's them dead. So Team 1, they're trying to play the bans as well as they can, but just at the moment, it's not working for them. Alamau is going to be off the shields, Ollie, and now he's on the buck. So this does open up, I think, potential now of more vertical gameplay from them. They know it's going to have to be a tertiary bomb site, so either kitchen dining or kitchen meeting, both of which include kitchen. So the vertical destruction in towards kid's bedroom is always going to be viable for either bomb site. So I think if Team 1 can almost play the same way as what Liquid did in this bomb site, they should have no issues.
It was the offsites where Liquid were able to pick up their attacking rounds, so Team 1 trailing by a round here isn't too much to worry about. Liquid did a great job of not really getting baited into too many engagements there. Obviously, when you've got the Monty, you've got to play things a little bit more tentatively, as there's just a lot more information available for the attackers. It's something that Team One really want to take advantage of here. Palu found some great positioning to free himself up to get a couple of kills and remained fairly unpredictable. I also liked the lack of reinforcement in places as well. It can be as powerful as fully reinforcing something off if done correctly. This time, no chances are being taken. Fully reinforcing on that stage wall. You don't really want to be giving anything away like that. I mean, Demo, if there's a site to play a Monty, this isn't really a bad one. This is probably one of the better sites for actually getting a plant down with a Monty.
Yeah, especially again with that smoke ban. Whenever you can theoretically open up that stage breach, put your Monty in front of the holes, and have somebody literally plant right behind them. Definitely viable and a difficult one. Team Liquid haven't reinforced the upstairs attic holes, which is surprising, because that gives Alamau just the easiest time he can to open up vertical angles, and will then allow Team 1 to start looking at an option for planting. Wall has been made soft, so they can open that up anytime they need to. Liquid aren't going to give it up for free, though, Wally. They still have a one-man. They're going to be having resets, play upstairs in attic, trying to hold on to that as best as he can. 2 people spot out inside of meeting also. That's good information for Team 1 to gain. Nesk, look at him. He's not afraid of anything, is he, Ollie? 9 and 5 right now. See if he can add on to that tally.
There's a work day for Nesk, make no mistake, but that is a cracking nade coming out from KDS. What a shot. From below, I believe, destroying the hatch that he was on. Usually you play with that hatch open or maybe even sometimes reinforced. It really is a matter of personal preference, but very rarely do you see it just left soft. Nesk getting caught out by pretty much the only vulnerability that he had at that point. PSK, great shots in onto Levy. Levy's someone that stood head and shoulders above everybody else so far, particularly in his ability to get multiple kills. PSK in a good position behind the sandbags to hold on to this long angle, but doesn't have the intel. Gets itchy feet and goes for a move. It's going to cost him. Alamau in position to knock him down. That means advantage back toward Team 1. And you can see Liquid scrambling. They've got information. They know where they need to be, but they aren't exactly in the right positions. Ask shuts down Neskin. Palu destroying barricades, trying to get himself back into meeting so that he can have an impact here. But the plant's already going down. Resets from above, finds one onto KDS. The Yokai drone come in and stop the plant. What a play from Resets. Picks up 2, untouched inside of the attic. And that's the diffuser cold on the ground. Palu moves up and picks the pieces up to finish off the round for Liquid.
We knew that Liquid weren't going to give attic up that easily, Ollie. They had Resets sat there pretty much the entire match. And he struck at the right moment, at the best possible time. He shows up and just kills the round dead in its tracks. So, all credit to Resets. He's really shown what he's worth there in that scenario. And Liquid now, they push on to match point. Very, very impressive Liquid. And this has been a much better performance from them compared to some of their other games that we've seen this season. Seems as if Liquid, they make the easy games difficult, but they make the more difficult games quite easy for themselves.
They're not out of the woods yet. Not by a long stretch. We will see how it all goes now. Match point for Liquid. Chance to finish off the stage on a high note. Let's not forget what happened previously. Back in round number 7, I believe, when this was defended for the first time by Liquid. We saw that ever brutal Lion Finker combination. This time, Finker is not going to be a factor. Levy has switched over onto Flores. See if you can find any joy there. It's going to be great for removing the shields that are no doubt going to be played on 90. Although, I don't actually see a shield in the lineup here. Instead, Liquid have opted much more for a C4-based lineup. With no shield being brought, you question what value Levy's going to be able to get out of those Rotero drones. Sure, he'll still be able to force players out, and you'll be able to push the player out of 90 and maybe pushing off the back of that.
Yeah.
There's going to be no utility, really, to get rid of.
Yeah, only issue, though, with bringing the Flores drones is Mute is still on the board, and Ask will be running the Mute, so actually getting those drones deployed into Elbow will be quite difficult. I mean, I've also seen teams try and run the Flores drones, and the Flores drones have went in, and the smoke has just quick peeked the shield and shot every single one they've went in, so there is a certain degree of like skill level to bringing the floors. You have to know what you're up against. You have to know positioning, and you have to kind of ask your team to support. You have to ask your team to cause some chaos while you're trying to sneak in a florist drone under the midst of all of that. So there certainly is a good bit of coordination team will need to work on if they want to try and get those florist drones popping in and eliminate anyone inside of elbow.
PSK going to be holding on to these back stairs. A player that's had enormous impact. Really starting to find the scoreboard of late in the last couple of games that he's had. 9 and 7 currently, with more than one occasion where a couple of his kills have really been the difference maker in the round, and this location that he plays is no different. Just watching out at the moment. Alamal's going to stun down and maybe think about pushing in off the back of that. You see him hit all 3 stuns and the scan. Meanwhile, isn't going to do anything, waiting for that hatch drop to come on in. Isn't going to be successful initially. KDS there, shut down PSK and Ness. Lagonis is going to join in on the action as well. A very clean take from Team One. Alamal seemingly orchestrating it all from on top of the hill there and just watching his team really make the magic happen.
Yeah, Team One much better from them that time, and it means Liquid lose that round, and that doesn't secure them the match win. Still have another chance to do it though. They're going to opt for the basement once again. Team One overall have really stepped up that round. I am happy to see that they've kind of moved away from the shields. That again, like I said earlier, I understood where they were coming from with bringing the shields, but in hindsight, Liquid are very well adapted with dealing with... Oh, never... Why do I bother? Why? Just why? He's on the blitz again.
Why not? It's not like it's the second time that they're fighting against a match point. It's alright, Demo. It's fine.
What's wrong?
Maybe the bigger question is why Liquid going down here again. Because they've not been really successful downstairs, and that's the second time out of 3 times defending it they've lost it.
I think they've lost the bomb site twice, haven't they?
Yeah, second time out of 3 times defending.
Yeah.
This is going to be the 4th time defending down here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a question as to why Liquid were even going here in the first place.
True. Very true indeed. Surprised that you don't see the kids work out for them again, because the top floor, it was a fairly good bomb site for them. Didn't really have too many issues. Team One really struggled to have anything on the board. Even the kitchen dining, that's another bomb site that was open to them also, so they certainly had multiple avenues they wanted to go from, but they feel as if they can do, again, another good job at dealing with this basement. Alamal, where's he going to be playing this time? That's the question. What avenue of approach will he enter in from? No real roam game coming out from Liquid, so it should be easy enough for Team One to move in, open up hatches that they need to. But the main issue that Team One have kind of struggled with is making sure somebody's on that tower stairs. If you're pulling in the resources of bringing a blitz who more than likely will rotate down to elbow and try and take control of that side of the map, you need somebody to support on the back stairs. That's a necessity. That is a must position for Team One. See Nesca now rotating over towards blue. I'm sure Alamal will join him in due course. There's the hatch going to be open. So they have everything going for them. They have utility being used to burn up any issues that Alamal might run into, but let's see if Liquid can hold on. Hold on, is PSK still in that same position down towards Shaiko? Because if he is, that's the man they need to kill. He is indeed.
He is. PSK, he's got the support of Nesk here. Nesk playing a little bit further up just on the double. Resets as well. A push is going to be holding that long angle. And he'll be in position to assist if required. Still, nothing a guarantee. Ask ADS's to try and keep him safe. Just holding a very slim angle. He's always got the Wamai disc as well. That now is going to be removed, and Ask, quite rightly, I think, backs himself off. Pocket reinforcement. Elbow is no longer anything to worry about. Lagonis could look to try and open it up, but going to eat up a little bit of time. And Still, we need to wait for Team 1 to push him down there. Now, we can hear the Ascaris pellets going off. You imagine that that is now being open. But Aska's actually rotated. Got himself into a really aggressive position. He's going to push up the stairs. Finds one onto KDS. Could go all the way here and start to work reverse on the hatch. Instead, Lagonis takes down Nesk and a second onto PSK. Alamal causing distraction with the shield. Ask, it might be now or never. You may have to go for the big reverse hatch play. Resets. He knows that there's going to be somebody pushing in through elbow. Ask now playing in a very attacker situation as he's going to be on those stairs. No C4 and will be caught out. Levy catches him out on the rotation. Plant there being threatened. Palu caught with the C4 in hand. Can he shut down one? Yes. Can he get the second? No. Neskin in the position to take him out. And it's all down to reset. C4 could stop the plant from going down, and it will. There are 2 seconds left. He finds one onto Neskin. All he's got to do is stay alive. Levy, he's collected the defuse. The time's on 0-0. Look behind you. Pick the kill. Liquid get the win. The full 3 points.
What a round. What a display from Reset. Another round where he came in massive for his team. And he single-handedly wins that round. Liquid. Some good moments inside of that round. I think Ask being able to win that engagement on the tower stairs. And yes, he died. Eventually he died, Ollie, but it took time. We seen that Team 1 had to maneuver. They had to push in from upstairs. They took them